Hello, everybody out there in Facebook land, TikTok world, YouTube, everywhere. This is going to have a clip going with it on a regular basis. How we all doing out there today? Hopefully, it's a fine morning for you here on the 27th, the very end of the last week of July. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson. And today we're talking about factory reset. I didn't come on live on the 25th because my body decided to say, hey, no, we're not getting up anytime soon. So, which was Friday. And I do apologize for the people that were expecting me to be here on Friday. I know there was one guy that was wanting to talk, chat, all that good stuff, another military guy. Um, Welcome to the show, everybody. Again, I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson. And just looking over notes that I've got posted everywhere. So, factory resets. Factory resets. You two can get a shirt like this. This is one of my pieces, one of my shirts right here, readily available for your wearing pleasure. I got some more shirts coming in. Got some more shirts going out. I've actually got to autograph some shirts. I just got to figure out how best to do that. I do have my black Magi marker. It's not completely permanent, but it is semi-permanent because I remember Kirk wanted me to autograph the shirts there that he wanted. So if you do want the shirts autographed, just let me know. I can do that too. So I just got to figure out what's going to be best on the shirt so it doesn't wash off. Because permanent marker will wash off over time. It ain't permanent on a shirt. Let's just put it that way. Welcome to the show, everybody. Appreciate everybody stopping in, checking out the channel. We talk about artwork, we talk about comic books, we talk about movies, especially horror movies, comic book movies, action movies, things of that nature. We talk about, again, comic books, action figures, cryptids, all kinds of stuff here because that's what we do. Oh, let's see. One commission is down finally. I'm working on the next one, which is happening right here. This is a combination of two God of War characters right here. The Dreki and the Wolver. So two of the villains there in the world of God of War. So I'm on to that project now, um, just because they're overdue in my eye. The person that has commissioned them, he's not worried about the time frame. He just wants them to look good and look great, and they will. So that's the main thing there. So let's get into the shirts real fast. As you see, I'm wearing one of my shirts right now, the Crow shirt right here that we have available. The one that's been the hot seller right now is the Joker shirt. This Joker, based off of the painting. What painting? This painting, you say? This one right here. Bum, bum, bum. And you too can own that shirt if you really want to. Right there. Get it while you can. Not saying it's going away anytime soon. But with that being said as well, there are canvas prints and there are Good Morning Mr. Roy, Joe Twinkletoes, Sparklebutt, Bradley Twilight Lover Jr. With these shirts, there is also going to be canvas prints and 11 by 17 prints available. This was the first Joker painting that I actually did, and this one right here actually sold the fastest. As you can see, I still have the other one in my hands, the actual original for the other one. But right here, this one was the first painting that actually sold, and you can get it in the form as well. Then we've got The Last Ronin. Again, I am wearing the Crow shirt right here of This is the last Ronin shirt. Again, there will be prints and 11x17s available of this one as well. I still haven't decided on the whole stickers and buttons or magnets like that. This is the, where did he go? There he is. Out of place. You're out of place, man. You're out of place. This is the Chester Bennington piece. I am going to be working on a Aussie piece here pretty soon to match the dynamics of this one, because this turned out really killer, and I'm looking forward to doing an Aussie piece in the same style, in the same vein. And this one's becoming a fan favorite as well. And I'm doing good. And how are you doing out there, Angel? And thanks for the likes already. Since you got us up to, what was it, 80,000 some odd likes or something like that. Ivan Moody, right here, Five Finger Death Punch, also going to be available in the canvas prints and the other 11x17 prints as well. Again, each shirt you see is going to have a canvas print and an 11x17 print available. American Horror, based off the American Gothic painting of the 1930s. You too can own this shirt, as well as the other Sue items that I have mentioned already. Howard the Duck, he's becoming a fan favorite again, right there. Dexter, the girlfriend loves her Dexter shirt that she's got. She wore it the very next day after we did the whole what's in the box scenario. But she wore this to work the very next day. Of course, I was wearing this the very next day. Art the Clown from Terrifier. This one is becoming a fan favorite as well. People are snatching it up. Again, each one of these are going to have a canvas print and a 11x17 print. And here you go. This is the shirt I'm wearing currently on the Crow. Right there. Again, this is it right here. Bum, bum, bum. Very cool shirt. I love it. Another popular one that's getting some love is this one right here, and I do have another one of these coming in right now, is the Wonder Woman Linda Carter version. Everybody's loving this shirt based off my painting that I did. And then I'll show you this one in person. Again, I've got this one. This will probably be worn at the next time I'm on live. This is my Bad Habits series, the Naughty Nuns, right there. And here she is for your viewing pleasure. On the shirt itself, on the actual cloth fabric. Looks killer, looks awesome. And I've already got another one of these ordered because someone was very, very interested in those. So there you go. That's what we've got available in shirts right now. Again, there's going to be more shirts rolling out, which means there's going to be more canvas prints and more 11x17 prints available. Now, those of you watching at this present juncture, are you into the whole magnets and the bumper sticker style artwork stickers that you can stick on your gaming systems, your fridge, your computers, whatever, you know, your Xboxes, your PlayStations? Like, you see a lot of people defile their gaming systems by putting stickers all over them. Are you one of those type of people? Because I know at comic book conventions, people love the stickers, people love the magnets, people love the nostalgia. That's why, I'm creating these type of experiences as well, where you got these little guys that are on actual saw blades, right here. You can throw your keys on them. You can throw your, SD cards on them, or you can just set them on your shelf as a display novelty piece. It's got the base on it. It says The Art of Art on here. Looks like you painted it in blood, but it's just red paint. And then, of course, you have the actual saw blade itself, that if you don't have a weapon at home, you can actually use this little baby if you wanted to. Again, thank you for the likes, the shares, all that good stuff. Please like, share, and follow if you haven't done so already. And then we have Billy the puppet from Saw on a saw blade. Go figure. Right there. He's still. You want to put him in there straight, just like that. So, and it says, "I want to play a game. Lately, you all have been watching, but haven't been sharing it very often of the show." There you go. All right. So, those are some of the nostalgic items that people like to take home from comic book conventions and things of that nature. Now, I'm going to be doing a lot more of those. Um, and it's going to be cool and killer to have setting on the table. And I'm still mulling over the sponsorship aspect that was dropped into my lap the other day, um, about a week ago now. And, oh man, my body's been gone into factory reset. What's up, girly girl? Mr. Girly Girl Fingernail Painting, Toenail Painting, Roy. What's up, girly girl? You and your tutu high heels that you wear downtown Fort Smith on a regular basis. We understand. We got you, buddy. We got you. It's okay. That lifestyle is okay. So, the still mulling over the whole sponsorship aspect of things, just because I want to make sure that I've got everything covered when it comes to doing this, because it is lucrative in the aspect of my booth space is paid for, you know, and that means I don't have to make up as much money during the show, which is always a plus. Um, and on that note, you know, if I was just looking at it from that aspect, it would be a great thing. It'd be a done deal already. It would be awesome. But I've got to look at every other aspect as well. You know, am I going to be able to create an entire universe um, of superheroes or normal guys or this, that, or the other to make it in the under the moniker with this sponsorship, because he's a writer, he's a podcaster, he has his own comic book out already. Um, he has his own publishing brand. Um, and I'm not going to give away too much of what it is or who it is, but it, just know that it could be a lucrative decision on my part, just because of the fact that, again, he's paying for the booth, he's paying for banners, he's paying for things of that nature, and you know, so it's a lot to take in. You know, this is the opportunities you've been waiting for. You know, to come and drop into your lap is something like this, but there's a lot of baggage that comes with it as well, and so you've got to unpack all that baggage, and it's not something that you want to take lightly or for granted, because you don't want it to again come around, turn around and bite you in the ass on the backside when it's all said and done. And so, having a sponsor is cool. Having a sponsor is awesome because again, they pay for the booth rental, they pay for banners, they pay for table covers and things of that nature. Um, but you also have to look at it in the long run. Is it something that you want to do for a long period of time? If it's the right sponsor, of course you do. Say it was a Walmart or a Ream or um, Kentucky Fried Chicken, or somebody like that saying, "Hey, we'll sponsor everything that you do. You just make sure you have our name on everything," and all that good stuff. And that's That's the stuff. That's the type of sponsors you really want. But this one is a step in the right direction. But again, it's a lot to mull over. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to consider um, when it comes down to it. I'm still waiting for all of the proposal pitches to come in via email, um, so that I can look it all over, read it all over, and go that route, because I want it to be concrete. I want it to be something that I can pick up, I can read, and feel good about it. I don't want there to be any hidden agendas in here from the other creator. They are going to be bringing in other artists under this moniker, under this title, just because you want to build that universe. And like you said, one of the stipulations is that all of the characters cross over in the universe, um, kind of like an Image Comics type of a situation. Because at some point in time, I'm pretty sure all the characters have crossed over at some point in time or another in the Image universe. Um, Spawn has been in Wildcats, or Wildcats has been in Spawn, or you know, Deathblow was in this, or whatever. I'm not saying that that's 100% accurate on my part, but I know that there's been some crossovers in the Image universe, and that's what this creator is wanting to do with his universe, is have all the characters cross over into each other's comic books, and which is a cool deal, which is a good idea. But on the same token, same aspect, it's like, well, now do I have to create this specific character for this specific universe? You know, I do have characters that I could probably turn into that pretty easy, because I've had them, you know, sitting on the back burner for a long time, since the '90s actually, probably since around '94, '95, somewhere in that range. And I've got all my preliminary drawings, all of my stuff sitting back here. They just need, oh, excuse me, talk about factory reset. They just need better story arcs and character development. Because back then my artwork was pretty rudimentary, if you will. Just like I talk about with some of the Antarctic Press titles and things like that. Is that, you know, I need to revisit my own characters from back in the day, and revitalize them and bring them back to life. Again, I appreciate each and everybody being here, checking out the channel. We are talking about Factory Reset, which my body did for the 25th. It said, no, you're not getting up anytime soon. I actually didn't get out of bed until about 7 o'clock. And, oh, I'm great. I'm just a little on the tired side. Don't know why. Gotta get my vitamins in. Ha ha ha. Since I don't drink the coffee or the energy drinks like you guys do out there, all that good stuff. Life is my energy. So, but yeah, I've got some t-shirts to autograph. I got to figure out what the best way is going to be so that they don't wash off, like I was saying, in the wash. Because even though it's a permanent marker, it's not permanent forever, especially on clothing. It will fade into the clothing, and it will and it will also wash out of the inked area where you sign it. So I've got to, figure out what's going to be the best way to autograph these shirts. And it's going to be the Joker shirts, I'm surprised you don't like coffee there, Roy. I think even your hero, Lee Bruni, likes some coffee in his life. I figure you'd follow in his footsteps. But no, my parents and grandparents tried to get me to drink coffee growing up, including tea. None of that stuff took, because it's just gross. It tastes nasty. I know a lot of people love it. And if that's you, I'm sorry, but enjoy your poop water because that's all it really is. It makes you poop. It makes you poop. It keeps you regular. Steak is awesome. See, you're missing out there. I don't know why you don't like steak since you eat hamburgers like they're going out of style. A hamburger is basically steak in its pure form. So I will, Mr. Nice Guy. I will be making some Aussie shirts with to go along with the Chester shirts once I get that painting up and running. I've pulled the canvas for it. It's going to be a massive canvas, actually, bigger than the Chester one, um, because it is a 20 by 24 painting, and the Chester is a 16 by 20. So that one's going to be cool. I just got to make sure it has the same feel and same vibe as the Chester one there. I can't promise you anything, but go ahead, ask your question. Ah, okay. I forget to turn the mirror off. Here, there you go. Is that better? Sorry, Casey. I forget to turn that mirror off. Now we're straight. There you go. Now you can see the crow, boom, 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 in all of its glory. And welcome to the show. All right. So, I appreciate people that call me out on the show like that because I forget to turn that little mirror thing off. I don't even know why they've got it on there. They just need to get rid of that mirror button altogether and have it normalized in there as it should be. Um, but yeah, no, not the real Santi. Did you watch the new Superman movie or thoughts on it? I have not watched the Superman movie. I am not a Superman guy. Okay. I mean, I probably will watch it eventually. I have HBO Max and I haven't even watched all the DC runs that's on there. They're in my list to watch, but I just can't bring myself to watch them. Even the Zack Snyder's remixed the 4 hour long version of the Justice League and stuff like that. I did watch the Justice League. I was very disappointed in the Justice League, just like I was very disappointed in Batman versus Superman. And I don't even know what you asked. You said trust right there. I did not see any other question come through. If you're asking me a question, just ask the question. Don't go through all this cryptid shit. We don't do that here. Just ask the damn question. But no, the Superman movie I have not watched yet. I hear, of course, everybody's got their mixed review on it. There's been a lot of comic book fans that really loved it because it brought back the nostalgia of the early, Superman in the comic books feel and things of that nature. So, sure. I mean, she's dead. I'd have to dig her up. So, let's do it. Let's go. That is a stupid question. You know, why would you even ask somebody that question? So, you know, go start your own show with these questions on there. Let's see how long you last on that. But yes, no. Um, the latest Captain America movie, was that the one with the Red Hulk in it? Because I hear they're already working on a new one out there. Yes, I already answered your question. So, um, now Mr. Roy, he loved that new Captain America. He thought he was going to be disappointed with it, especially with Harrison Ford being in it as the Red Hulk. But he was delightfully surprised with the Red Hulk in it, and you know, so and probably not the real Santy. You just had your comment probably filtered right there by TikTok. So you need to rephrase your question out there. But Mr. Nice Guy, the whole Captain America, again, I haven't watched it yet, so I can't give you a premise on it. I've heard both sides of the fence, just like with the new Fantastic Four movie. I've heard both sides of the fence on it already. People hated it. There wasn't enough action in it. There wasn't enough this. There wasn't enough that. But then the other side of the fence is it was awesome. It was a fantastic movie. Those type of things. And so, you know, you're going to have your proponents, you're going to have your pros and cons of both sides of the fence. You're going to get the people that are diehard comic book fans that are like, well, this wasn't close enough to the comic books. And then you're going to have your people that only watch Marvel movies and don't know anything about the comic books, that are going to give their opinion on the movie. And it could go either way with that group. But your diehard comic book fans, they want to see a little bit more in the way of, well, this is how it was in the comic book, so this is how it needs to be in the movie when it comes out, you And so, with me, if I like the movie, I like the movie, you know. It and it has the all around aspect of how was the feel of the movie, how was the character development in the movie, um, how was the dynamics of the movie and the character interactions, all that good stuff. And the same thing goes with horror movies for me, sci-fi sci-fi movies, because you have some killer B-rated sci-fi movies out there, some killer B-rated horror movies out there, but other people just hate them, like the troop stuff that we've talked about before on here. You know, which new movies you looking forward to in 2026? Supergirl, Superman, or Spider-Man, or the Avengers? Out of that group right there, it would probably be the Spider-Man or the Avengers. Again, not a DC fan, 100%. Batman on the DC side is really about the only character I love over there. There are a few other oddball characters out there. I can't remember off the top of my head who they are, but Supergirl, she was only cool when Michael Turner drew her because he made her into the Supergirl that she is. Now the early stuff, Superman and his family, starring Supergirl, you know, those type things. But the new Spider-Man, what's it called? I just saw the title yesterday. I can't even think what the new Spider-Man's called, but it's going to have John Barenthal in it. The Punisher's going to be in it, so that's going to be cool. It's going to have some new major villain arcs in it, so that's going to be cool. The Avengers, yeah, see, I can't remember the title either, and I just saw it yesterday. Literally just saw the title yesterday, and you know, and like he said, Kevin Feige, he said it's going to be, or Feige, or however you want to say his last name. He said it's going to be a more street level movie, you know. So, hence why the Punisher is going to be in it. Just like they're bringing in all these characters from different groups, different entities in the MCU, and putting it into um, the Avengers, you know. And which Avengers are we getting? Are we getting the Avengers of that we've already had? Since we just got rid of Natasha, since we just got rid of, Captain America, since we just got now, which Avengers are we getting? Are we getting, the later years that Wolverine's included, Spider Man's included, all this stuff, you because Tony Stark's out of the picture and now he's Doctor Doom, you know. But I saw there might be a movie with the Hulk against Wolverine. Now that one would be cool, especially if they went back to the Hulk 181 days, whenever Wolverine just came on the scene, from Hulk 180, 181, and 182. Because the Hulk and Wolverine have always had a beef with each other. So, new Scream is getting ready to happen. Yeah, I saw where Matthew Lillard is going to be reprising his role in the movie. So that will be cool. The Scream franchise is starting to get old. I mean, let's just get real. Um, Even though they tried to breathe new life into it by bringing in Wednesday Adams into it, who's popping up in everything, just like uh, Pascal is popping up in every movie that's being made right now. Those are becoming the two hottest. Jenna Ortega. Those are becoming the two hottest actors out there right now when it comes to movies because they are popping up in every damn thing. I mean, you can't turn on a movie and be like, oh, they're not in it. Wow, I'm surprised. Um, and it's kind of crazy that I mean, you get those hot actors, those hot niches for a hot minute, and then all of a sudden they just kind of fade into the background. They become supporting actors and cast in the movie instead of the main characters, just like they have been. Because Jenna Ortega in Scream, and pretty much there's a whole list of movies that she's in right now, and then Pedro Pascal, he's in everything right now, you know, and these actors, one right after another, after another, after another, and it's just like, damn, I didn't realize they were in all these movies, and but they get on this hot train, and boom. Oh, the Aussie shirt's gonna happen. Like I said, it's gonna be on this massive 20 by 24 painting. So it's gonna be bigger than the 60. It's gonna be 4 inches more of Aussie than it is of Chester. But but yeah, I think that one's gonna be a hot seller once I get it up and running. I just got to make sure, like I said, it's gonna feel the same as the Chester piece over here because that one turned out super awesome. I was super happy with it when I finished it, and it just looks killer. I mean, it just looks super amazing, man. It just looks super amazing. And you too can own this one if you really want to. Out there in the world, get it out of my hands because it does need to be in somebody else's hands on your wall, not mine. Um, just because I've had it for long enough. That's why I'm doing a big art sale right now. So, well, I could do a little Bo Peep in my style um, to go with my Alice in Wonderland, um, and not the Toy Story version, which I don't know if that's out there or not. But it would be cool because the Grimm brothers did a lot of cool stuff with their stylings of writing. You know, um, Little Bo Peep. Let's just take all the Disney princesses, that the Grimm fairy tales were based off of, and they weren't children's books. They weren't kids. Oh, really? I didn't realize that. I didn't even. I don't follow South Park that much. I used to whenever it first came out, just like The Simpsons. No, the drawing is very childish, if you will, but that's what people like with it. Um, and it's just like there's a niche for everything. You know, if I wanted to do a whole cartoon on Mr. Sharpie here, someone would buy it because they're a Sharpie fan. You know, because Sharpie comes in many colors. The yellow Sharpie, the black Sharpie. Oh, they got together. Someone would actually buy that probably. You know, and it the niches that people get into are very strange. Um, but it's to each their own. It's what brings them joy, brings them excitement. So you never know. There's a possibility that that even Sharpie would come in and say, "Hey, we want to, you know, fund your project because you're using our project. You're using our product. So we will fund your project, and here's $2 million. or $2 billion for your project. I'll do it for 1 million. 1 million, Bob. 1 million. No, I don't know. I mean, people are strange, and you know this. People are strange out there with their stuff. Just like the stupid question that came through about what that kid asked, you know, and and it's just like the last idiot that was on here, that was causing a ruckus throughout my entire show towards the end, you know, and he ended up getting banned from TikTok altogether. So after, I don't know if it was after I called him out on my post or not, but someone went and looked it up, and they're like, I can't find this guy. And so I went and looked him up, and boom, sure enough, permanently banned. You know, and I'm sure he's already made a new account and back on here to torment other people. You know, instead of creating his own show because he can't, because he doesn't have the followers. You know, so those type of situations. But no, if someone were to come to me and be like, hey, we want to take your entity and turn it into a lot of things, here's, you know, uh, what's a close $900 million, and not in the billions yet, but $900 million. Here you go. I'd be like, sold. You guys do what you want to the character. I don't care at this point, you know. So yes, soulless folks are run rampant on a regular basis. You can run into them at Walmart. You can run into them at the gas station. I mean, you can run into them just walking down the street of the town that you live in, you know. And but yes, you get idiots out there that just want to be a disruptor, you know. And I get that on here a lot. People stop in, say their stupid shit, and then leave, you know. Tell us your story, Casey. What happened yesterday in the Michigan Walmart? This should be interesting. I haven't been to Michigan in quite a while. 11 staged attack. That sucks. It's kind of like here they found two people at a state park deceased, and they're looking for, a suspect at this present juncture. At Devil's Den State Park, they found two. I don't know if they were hikers or campers or whatever, but trying to say it here. I got you. I got what you're trying to say. So there was a jab attack, right? So I'm kind of surprised that they got 11 people, if that's what it was. So, but you're gonna find something everywhere. I'll see if I can find it out there on Google. Google has everything. If you're lost or confused, just ask Google. And now that they've got the whole AI suggested reading for you, ugh, sorry, I can't stand AI. So yeah, one person, 11 victims. Yeah, no, I get that. I'll look into it. I'll look it up. It's just I don't understand why people got to go to the extremes of things like this, but they do it on a regular basis, and it's kind of idiotic in my opinion. So they took him into custody. Cool. Yeah, the guy that unalived two people here at Devil's Den State Park, um, they haven't found him yet. So I don't even know if they know what they're looking for. As far as the person involved. And so, you know, um, I got to read up more on the details on that one. But there you go. Thank you, Roy, for subscribing to the channel. You're awesome, dude. Um, Also, thank you for all the likes out there from everybody. It's awesome. We're up to 21.1 thousand likes already, which is awesome. It's better than most of the big people out there that have, you know, thousands of people viewing their live shows on a regular basis. Um, I guess I could just put this shirt up here on a regular and let people see that, and then that would be the drawing point because there's chest and cleavage on this one, so I'll stick around for that, you know. But I'm not going to stick around to hear you talk about comics or anything like that, you know. And that's why most creators out there are getting the viewership, you know, out there drawing point. It's a little bit nippy here in the studio. Ah, no, I don't need gimmicks and stuff like that because I do get the watches later on, not during the show sometimes. And I don't know if it has to do with the hour, but I know there's a lot of night owls out there. Mr. Roy, who once the show ends will be going to bed most likely, evening, uh, missing the whole day. So we might as well call you a possum, dude. Yes, Nippy A. You caught that, did you? But no, seriously, all these new movies coming out. There's a ton of new Marvel movies getting ready to come out, but I don't know if they're going to be revamping or trying to do new things with all these new Marvel movies and things like that. But you know, you 100%. And with that being said, it also is it's time to trust that you haven't seen before, and you know you always want to expand because the Marvel universe, I can pull out the whole encyclopedia of Marvel universe in there, and the amount is there's been a ton of characters that only appeared in like 5 issues. 100 unheard of characters coming together, um, and creating a whole new team. You know, and it's just like the Suicide Squad. I hated the Suicide Squad on the DC side. Um, a lot of great acting in it, but the movie just didn't hold together at all. Um, they tried to do way too many character developments in one movie, and that just doesn't work in a movie. You know, now if you have their standalone stories, good, great. Have that standalone story, and then bring them into their Suicide Squad movie, and that's just how they need to do it in the DC side. And I think they're starting to realize that. And that's why they're revamping all their movies on a regular basis. Just like the new Batman with Pattinson, just like this new Superman with whoever, you know. The Gotham TV series was good. I liked seeing Bruce Wayne as a young kid learning everything as he goes and not really wanting, you know, to do a lot of things that he was having to do at that young of an age because hey, my parents are dead. I just became a multi-trillionaire, you know, and and now I'm living. I'm being mentored by my butler, basically. You'd you know have a astronomical run like Law and Order or um, Idiot. But then there's other stuff that I haven't even watched yet. Like I said, on the DC side, when it comes to any one that I think I watched. Sorry for all you DC fans now, or something like that. But the original CSI, I think, came to an end. Um, but then they've still got all their other ones, CSI New Orleans, those type things. But uh, CSI Miami was out there for a while, and just the list goes on and on. But those shows I used to watch on a regular basis, you know. And Law and Order was one of the biggest ones, and you can go back and watch every 20 plus years of Law and Order, which is unheard of when it comes to a TV series. Lost in Space did it. Star Trek did it. Um, Twilight Zone did it. I mean, you know, and it just ended. The shows just ended. There was nothing at the end of it. You know, Sopranos ended strangely. New Girl ended strangely. Yes, the best. Oh yes, they beat Roseanne, Cheers, and MASH. Their fan base goodbye. At the end. It just those type shows that had the alien aspect to them in today's times. 100%. Stranger Things, I did. Season 5 is getting ready to come out on, but it had its moments for back in the day. Exactly when I've heard bad things about all of them. The Daryl Dixon show, the Daryl Dixon piece one as well. Spin-offs, but no, I actually drew cards for the Stranger Things series. You know, and they're sitting right here. In fact, I will pull them out. Boom, boom, boom. No, you go back over there, Mister Luke Schoonmaker. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum. Stranger Things. Dun, dun, dun. Right there. Stranger Things. We'll start you out with a little 11. This is from. I always want Mr. Plug. But again, thing happening out there from you guys. I appreciate it. And just like my all the Walking Deads, right there. Bum, bum, bum. Take your pick. This was my first set, which I hated because no one told me what I needed to use on there. You know, Beth and Andrea from season 1 from photos, and for the actual licensed product for Tops over Mega Man himself with Shiva. This was the depicted Negan's right hand man, right there. One of the fan favorites that they killed off. And then, of course, Negan. Right there. For Tops for AMC's The Walking Dead, Stranger Things, Chaos Comics from Dynamite Entertainment. Let's see what else we got. Dawn, Joseph Michael Linsner's Dawn, 30th anniversary of Dawn. And this is just a small sampling of the stuff that I've done over the years. And the rest of them are in this little kitty right here on Tinder. Kind of idiotic. Ben Affleck, Amy, what's her face? And some of these I can say that weren't my best cards, and that's okay. The Dynamite series from Dynamite Entertainment about their I've drawn on these cards. I've already showed you some over here, and then of course Dynamite, which we already just saw. Again, even if it's a person like an ex-wife or those type of things. No, I'm not. If you really think your ex-wife is a monster, I can draw her for you in a monster form, so that she's unrecognizable. So pretty much. But no, yes, those are the cards that I've worked on over since 2017. I've taken a back seat to it here lately just because there hasn't really been anything that I've been excited about. Puppet Master was the best one. Transformers was another one. Um, got his place in the universe, but not my cup of tea when it comes to that. But no, because again, that's when I started going to comic book conventions, and took a break this year in 2025 from the convention scene, and into the beginning of 2026, just because I'm not ready. I'm still not ready, and a bunch of other stuff in the year. It makes it a little more difficult to do stuff when it comes down to it in the end. So, but things have been happening. Things have been cool. The T-shirts have been selling like hotcakes, which is awesome. I'm happy with that because they're going out the window, and that's awesome. Hopefully, once this new, Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne, hits, that more shirts will fly off the shelves. Like Roy already said, he wants to be put down for one of those when it happens. And right now, I've are last, and Golden was probably made, because why make anything here in America anymore, right? Okay, for small through extra large are $25 plus $5 shipping, $30. It's no different than walking into a Spencer's or a Hot Topic, and but yes, thank you. I try to keep it relatively simple because I know that there are people out there that charge, try to do as great a work as I possibly can. Um, just because I know it's going to be hung on somebody's wall or house, in their house or apartment or wherever, or given as a gift, you know. And I'm drawing on here Mech Strike Monster Hunter 998 Venom, with the Venom drawing on the side on it. Looks killer, you know. Sure, you monster is still sitting with me. What, you going to bed, Mr. Roy, or are you going to go peruse your other social medias to see, you know, all your ladies' basketball? I know you've already jumped off at this tour. Yeah, you're going to go check out your ladies' basketball. I know. To hell with this guy and what he's talking about. I'm going to go watch some ladies' basketball. Watch Caitlin Clark jump up and down with you. Well, you have a good day, too, because I know that's where you're eventually, once you do decide to get off of all your socials and jumping from one platform to the next. But there you go. The gathering card dealer that slips down into the deal, so you can have all your little cards separated in there if you really wanted to. All right, folks, I am going to kill it for today. I got some artwork to get taken care of, and I got some pigs that are roaming the house right now that need to get some food and get outside to use the bathroom. But you all have a great day, and as I like to say, as I leave you, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.